but they're looking at the client's MIB or their RX, and they say, that no should be a yes based on this data we have. All this information up in the sky. So they'll ask you, do they use this medication for this or for this? There's many medications out there that have got a dual purpose. A dual purpose means is that the doctor will give the client a medication, let's say for restless leg syndrome. That medication is also used for something else. So if it's not used for the something else, and you write down it's for RLS, your client's going to get approved. That's one of the advantages of American Amicable as well as Prosperity, that you need to have those in your briefcase. Now, most agents say, well, damn, Joe, those carriers are a little bit expensive. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you a secret on what a successful agent thinks in his mind. A successful agent says, you know something, Joe, I see that these other carriers are less expensive. I see it. It's right there in black and white. Yet, my job is to get my client insured with a carrier. That's the main goal you got to have. Because right now, you've got your little rate calculator, and you're looking at all these prices here. You go, oh, this carrier costs a little bit more. Yet, if there's an issue, they're going to give me, the insurance agent, an opportunity to possibly get a drop-down box and to get them a yes instead of a no. Selling the cheapest product, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong at all with that at all. Yet you need to sit and look at it. Normally, the less expensive the carrier, the underwriting is usually a little bit harder. Okay, so it's just plain as day. Plain as day. The less expensive, most of the time the carrier is a little bit more expensive. When you have a carrier such as Prosperity and American Amicable who give you the drop-down opportunity, it may cost $2, $3, $4 a month more, but you're the only one who's looking at that rate calculator. They're not looking at the rate, like you're not saying, here are the rates here. I'm going to charge you $4 more because I want to make a sale because there's a possibility of a drop-down box showing up. You're not going to say that. You're going to say, I got the best program for you. There's nothing out there any better. This is one of my favorite carriers. The best part about this carrier here, the application is easy and simple. And the sad part, yet the good part about it is I've had clients who have passed away, okay? And they paid their claim very, very quickly. And that's the most important thing for you to know when you lay your head down at nighttime. If you don't wake up the next morning, you know your wife, Francine, or your daughter, Marie, your son, Anthony, will make sure they've got that check waiting for them to take care of you, okay? Another thing, we've got another page on the drop-down box in the back office. We have one for final expense, Medicare, and term life insurance. Before you start quoting prices to anybody, you need to find out how they're going to pay. Some people still don't get a direct deposit. Some people still get it on their MasterCard Direct Express. Some people get it on another debit card. You need to know how their money comes into them to see what carrier you can write for them. Now, when you look at a carrier, which is your favorite one, and your client says, all I have is a debit card. You come over here to this page here, debit cards. You've got, hold on a minute. You've got Gerber, Great Western, Prosperity, Sentinel, and Transamerica. Okay? If you want to do the MasterCard Direct Express, based on my little notes here, it's the same. Okay? So you've got to use this page here so when a client tells you how they're paying, you know where to go. Let's say Royal Neighbors is your favorite company. Joe, I love Royal Neighbors, or Joe, I love Foresters, which we have gotten back. So you want to get Foresters back, get with Jay. You give them a price, and now you ask them, how are you going to pay? They said, my debit card. So you don't have a checking account? No, I don't. Is your debit card tied to a checking account? No. Tied to a savings account? No. Just a debit card. So what have you done now? You've given them the spiel about a carrier, told them the price, what it would be, what their family's going to get when they pass away. Now you got to say, can't have it. Sorry, you can't have it. So now you got to backpedal to say, oh, I made a mistake, or oh, I forgot. Take these steps in the beginning. Height, weight, history, medical history with prescriptions, how they're going to pay, what did they have before. All these things here goes into a blender, and you got to blend that around to where that carrier will pop out on the bottom. It may give you 3 or 4 different carriers you can use. You pick out the one you want. Yet you need to ask these questions. Now, talked about smoker rates. Another thing before I get into actual underwriting. Social Security premium billing. For all you new folks out there that doesn't know what that means, Social Security premium billing means that the insurance carrier will draft your client's account, savings account, checking account. They'll draft them on the date that they receive the money. Second, third, fourth Wednesday, it's going to come out the second, third, or fourth Wednesday. If the first or the third falls on a Saturday or Sunday, they're going to get their check on Friday. The insurance company that is not Social Security billing will submit it on Monday, and it'll come out of your client's account on Tuesday. But here's the caveat. There's no money in the account on Tuesday because they've done spent it. When it comes to a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Social Security premium carriers will draft it that morning of that Wednesday. Non-carriers that do not do Social Security will submit it on Wednesday, and it'll come out on Thursday. So you run a chance of what we hear and know about is called a chargeback. How are you going to pay? Let me check your health out. Let me put you with a Social Security premium company that I know that'll get you immediate benefits at a fair, reasonable price, and I'm going to get paid. Those are the things you got to look at. Now, whenever you hear the word COPD, emphysema, Parkinson's, lupus, liver problems, DUIs, probation, parole, all that stuff there, you got to know what carrier you can put your client with. Okay? Now, when you're talking to an older client and they want to take out insurance on their grandkids, you need to make sure that grandkid is there to sign the application. Okay? Now, let's talk about a nitro pill. Nitro pill is normally given to a client who's had a heart issue, primarily angina. It needs to make sure the ticker is working. When something happens, they put this little tablet under their tongue, it dissolves, and they're able to stay alive. What the carriers, some carriers will sit and say, we don't want it. They tell you outright, we don't want it. A company called American Memorial says if you've done it for over 2 years, we'll take you with no problem. Prosperity says over 2 years, we'll take you with no problem. American Amicable, over 2 years, we'll take you with no problem. Okay? Transamerica says if you had it for over a year, we'll give you our standard pricing. If you have it over 2 years, we'll give you our preferred pricing. So there is a carrier that has the opportunity for you to get immediate benefits on a nitro pill. Now let's sit and say you got a client that has COPD or emphysema. Both have to do with the lungs. Carriers that will accept that there will be Transamerica. The other one will be CVS. And the other one will be Liberty Bankers on their immediate standard. We have these papers in the back office. Okay? You can print these out. Okay? It's going to let you know approximately where the client's going to fit. Now what ends up happening is that if you look at this here and you see an item, yet you don't ask the health, you don't ask the medicine question, you're kind of defeating your purpose of using these tools. You need to ask every single thing, then put it in the blender, as I say, and find out which one works. Let's say you have a client that has psychiatric problems, depression, bipolar, anxiety. Forrester says, we'll take your client with no problem. American Amicable says, we'll take your client with no problem. Okay? You look at Mutual Omaha, they'll say, we'll take them, yet they're going to be graded. So it all depends on if you want to give your client immediate benefits or you want to give them a graded product based on price. Okay, let me look here. CVS also says if you got psychiatric problems, we'll take you with no problem, okay, on an immediate standard rate. Lupus, CVS says we'll take your client on an immediate standard. Now, I'm not naming every single one that will take the client, every carrier. All this is in the back office. You can either print it out or put it on your iPad, on your laptop, computer, whatever, and use it just like I'm looking at now. Let me look at another one here. Issue ages is very important. Most carriers are from 40, CVS is 40 to 89. Some are 45 to 80, 45 to 85. Some are 50 to 80, 50 to 85. You've got to look at this sheet here because that's going to tell you exactly what carrier. When you look at a final expense application, and in your mind, you're dealing with a 65-year-old who you're writing, then they say, well, I've got my 40-year-old son, my 35-year-old grandson that wants to get something. It's a total different application. Unless you use Liberty Bankers or you use Sentinel that start at age 18. Okay? Or United Home Life starts either 18 or 20 depending on the category they fall in. So the underwriting for the younger folks is a little more challenging than it is for the older folks. The height weight chart is also different for the younger folks than it is for the older folks. One last thing. When you're on a roll and you're doing final expense, and they throw a curveball at you, and that thing is curving hard, and they say, we also want information on a term policy. You got to bring out a new application because the cheat sheets I have in the back are primarily for whole life. So whole life application questions are totally different than a term product. Heart attack, cancer, COPD, lupus, emphysema, the rules change drastically when it comes to those carriers. The carriers that we primarily have that are on the Social Security billing, you guys are going to get paid on issue. You're going to write the application today on an e-app. You're going to say, congratulations, Ms. Jones. You've been approved preferred, as we talked about. Your policy will be coming in the mail to you in about a week or so. And in your mind, you're saying, I did it on Monday, it was approved on Monday, I'm going to either get paid Tuesday or Wednesday, or maybe Thursday, depends on how that little birdie wants to fly into your checking account. So think about that there. If we look at the overall picture of what we're doing, the only way for us to be successful is to know underwriting. You can figure out the price when you look at the rate calculator. You have to know the underwriting. You got to know where the client's going to fit. Please do not shortcut underwriting. Do not sit and sidestep it. Don't deviate from it. Don't rush through it. I like handing a client an application. You can print one out, get one from the carrier. Let's say Roll Neighbor is your favorite carrier. As you're going through the questions, say, Mr. Jones, I want you to kind of go down the list with me and fill it out, okay? The client only wants to do a paper app. You can't do them anything else. They don't have any. You got to do a direct bill. Give them the application and tell them as we're going down the application, just write down yes or no on the answers there. Okay? Let them feel they're participating in this event here. People like to participate because they feel they want to be the ones who make the decision. Okay? How's your health? Medication? The last 3 years? What medications you've stopped? Which medications have you filled? Tell me a little bit about your health. Heart attack, stroke, cancer. Do you smoke cigarettes, cigars, pipes? How's your height and weight? What's your height and weight? So once you gather all the information down, write it all down, write it all down. From there, go to your cheat sheets. One thing I just found out, Transamerica says, we got this new application, yet you got to have the beneficiary's date of birth, social security, you got to have all this information. Okay, so every carrier has got its good points and its pain in the butt points. So with that said, guys, take your time, do not rush, go over everything with them, and make it a great day. If you got any questions, call us to let you know. We got Forster's back. Sentinel is another upcoming carrier that we've got very good price breaks, and they've also got very good rates as well. So have a great day. We love you. We appreciate you. And hit them hard, guys. Bye-bye.